Hello and welcome to this edition of Journey of the Master podcast. I am so happy and excited that you are all here with us today. This is going to be an awesome discussion, and I'm really excited about our topic this month, which is Earth is your playground. So, you may be one of those people who, throughout your spiritual journey, right? We all are probably aware of this idea or maybe concept, right? That you're here to learn lessons, you're here to achieve something, to become worthy of something, right? Like Earth is your school. And in this discussion today, I want to offer you a whole new awareness that just might possibly change your whole experience and your perspective of who you are, why you're here, and how fun and joyful and magnificent your life is truly meant to be. So, thank you for joining me for this discussion. I absolutely love the amazing people that join us for this podcast, whether you are joining us on our YouTube platform or your favorite podcast platform. We appreciate you. We are so happy you are here. And thank you for being part of this discussion with me today. So, most spiritual traditions or teachings offer this perspective that Earth is a classroom, Earth is a school, Earth is a place that you come to learn lessons, and there are tests and things you have to overcome, right? And almost achieve in order to step into maybe enlightenment or realization or get it right in this life. And while that may have served on your path, I know certainly it did for me at different times in my life, being able to see that life isn't happening to you, that these things are really happening for you. However, what if Earth was never meant to be a school or a classroom? What if it is your playground? In fact, what if it is the playground for you as you realize and remember yourself as the master and divine being that you are? In fact, it kind of seems to me, right, when you think about it, we came here to explore. We came to this human experience to expand, to express all that we truly are, and to have experiences. So, is Earth your school in which you are here to learn lessons in order to evolve? Or did you come here to play while creating what you want to experience and expand and evolve along the way? So just play with me here, because this is possibly a new awareness for you. It may go against some of what spiritual teachings you've come across in the past, but what if the change in your perspective about what Earth and this human experience is really about, what if it shifts and you're no longer drawing to you lessons, but you're drawing to you a perspective that this life and this Earth and this human experience is your playground? Earth is your playground. Earth is the master's playground. And so I'm really excited to dive into this today. However, before we go too much farther, I have a very exciting announcement for all of you. This is the first official announcement of my newest book being released very, very soon. If you're watching this live, it will be released on January 13th, 2026. It is called The 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul. It is a channeled guide to discovering your life's purpose. And I am so excited about this book. It is based on one of our top courses that we have done by the exact same name, The 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul. And we're going to be super excited to announce shortly an evolution of that course, which will be a wonderful complement to the book. But the great news is you can pre-order your copy of the 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul right now. There's a link here with this video. If you are on live, you can see it in the comments there. We'll also post the link down below. You can pre-order your copy of the 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul right now. And if you are listening to this on or after January 13th, 2026, the book will be released and available to you to purchase at that time and receive it right away. So I'm really excited about this book. Truly, it was just a absolute joy to write it, to create it. When I was recording the audiobook, which will also be available for pre-order or available January 13th, the audiobook was just such an amazing experience. So I am so excited about this book. I appreciate your support and would love it if the title resonates with you. Go out and order your copy of the 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul. Awesome. All right. So let's dive back into our topic for this month, Earth as your playground. In fact, it is this awareness that you are here to truly live an amazing life, to have the experiences you want to have. What if you really are here to have all of the experiences you want to have in this life? And that everything is potential and possibility for you to choose. Think about it as you chose to come here not to prove your worthiness. And this can be a big one. For so many people, it is this feeling that I've got to prove that I'm worthy, that I've got to earn my worth, right? I've got to do something, right? In order to be worthy, in order to have what I want or live the way I want or have the freedom to create my life the way I want it to be. When you incarnate with this idea that you actually have to earn your enlightenment, then you're on this path of constantly having to prove that you're worthy, earn your enlightenment, learn the lessons, and then you'll get there. And again, I want to offer you a perspective that enlightenment is a natural evolution and that you have always been infinitely worthy. There is absolutely nothing that you could ever accomplish in this human experience that will make you more infinitely worthy than you always have been and already are. And there's nothing that's ever happened in this human experience that could threaten your infinite worthiness. Now, you may choose to do things differently. You may come across experiences where you might feel like you're being tested and that you have to pass this sort of test to get to the next level of joy in your life, or in order to get to a state of sort of this anointed, enlightened place. But I'll tell you, many years ago when I first started channeling the council, well over 10, 12 years ago now, I had a very interesting experience in my life. And it was with a particular person. And I constantly feel like I was being tested. I felt like my interaction with this person was constantly a test. And I never felt like this person showed up for me. And it really, quote unquote, tested me. Now, at this point in my life, about 12 years ago, I was definitely on the spiritual path with a belief that Earth is your school, right? That we're here to learn lessons. And so I thought, well, this is a lesson and this is a test. And as I teach in my You Are a Channel book, we all have this opportunity to open up to our soul, to our higher self for guidance and insight. And so I was feeling really upset. I felt very tested in my life by this person. I was willing to take the perspective that, okay, this was some sort of lesson I needed to learn. And So I started the automatic writing process. I took some deep breaths. I closed my eyes. I focused into my heart. I brought to my awareness that there is only love and that there is a higher perspective here. And I asked for guidance as to the highest perspective. And the message I received really surprised me. It said, no one is testing you. Nothing outside of you is testing you. You are the one testing you. It's not about that person showing up for you. The question is, are you showing up for you? And this was a huge shift in my life because the truth was, I was expecting that person to show up for me. And when that person showed up for me, then I would show up. But really, what higher guidance offered me was, you show up for you. This is about you showing up for you. And I did. And everything changed in the dynamic of that relationship. And so when you realize there's nothing outside of you testing you, you're not learning lessons, but you are more fully, deeply, intentionally becoming more of all that you already are. In fact, the number one success principle for realization and enlightenment is you are everything you wish to be. You already are. It's not about fixing karma or climbing a spiritual ladder so that you can realize enlightenment. It is about integrating every part of you that is already here in your infinite worthiness and allowing yourself to be all that you are. And guess what? When you start to allow yourself to be all that you are, everything in your life changes and you start to see a new perspective. You're not here to climb the spiritual ladder. You're not being tested. You're not here to fix the karmic wrongs of the past. You're not here to earn your enlightenment. You're not here to prove your worthiness. You are here to experience expansion in physical form. You're here to express all that you are in physical form. You're here to explore everything this human experience and this earth experience has to offer you. And you're here to have the experiences that you want to have for you. You're here to experience the consciousness and the energy that you are in physical form and to witness, sometimes in complete and total awe and wonderment, right? The incredible forms of consciousness and love and light that are here for you. And everything begins to change. You see the earth experience as your playground, and life starts to become really, really fun for you. So, in a playground, right? Nothing is mandatory, right? Thinking about it compared to a classroom or a school, right? It's your playground. And I was listening to a recent channeled message that we did inside of our membership program, and it was talking about Earth as the master's playground. And I had this incredible vision. I was reminded of when I was a kid and this particular playground that I always loved to go to. And you could go over and swing on the swings, or you could go down the slide, or you could go across the monkey bars, or jump on the merry-go-round. When you start to think about your life that way, everything is potential and possibility for you to choose. It's a totally different perspective that begins to draw to you whole new experiences. So if you are someone who your spiritual teachings in the past have been that Earth is a classroom or a school, or you're here to right karmic wrongs from the past, or you're being tested and you have to overcome these tests, right? The hero's journey. What if you just allowed yourself to play in the awareness that maybe it's possible, that everything is here for you as potential and possibility? Everything is here for you to choose how you want to play, how you want to create. And what you love will always guide you easily and effortlessly to those things. I want to share something as it relates to karma. First off, my definition of karma is it's absolutely the integrity of energy in this present now moment. So if you are thinking negative thoughts or judgmental thoughts about someone else, what you think you're sending out there, right? You think you're judging someone else, but your body doesn't know in that moment that you're intending to direct that judgment or criticism towards someone else. Your body experiences it as you are judging and criticizing yourself. When you are sending love to anyone, the interesting thing is what you're really doing is sending love to yourself. You're really focusing and intending into a space of love by sending love to someone else, but your body is actually receiving that love. So, some years ago, again, I was doing the automatic writing process that I teach in my You Are a Channel book and You Are a Channel course. And I asked the question of my higher self, what is the most important question that has never been asked? And again, the answer was mind blowing to me. And it answered my question about this concept of karma and past life karma and reincarnation and all those things. And the answer was, what if, as you fully awaken to the truth of who you are in this life and step into a higher level of consciousness in this life, fully summoning all of your own energy to serve you in this life, what if every single aspect of you in any and every life that you may have potentially lived experiences exactly that same awakening in that moment as you're experiencing in this moment? Because there is only the now moment. And I certainly can understand why things appear like a past life or a future life, but everything truly is now. And so, as you are awakening in this life and stepping into higher levels of consciousness and summoning all of your energy to serve you, every aspect of you in every life is having that exact same experience. And I saw the vision of how powerful that was. And it was a new perspective and awareness that I had never had before, but it changed everything for me. Everything for me. So I hope you find that interesting and play around with that a little bit. I know it's kind of deep, but it's really kind of cool, right? Um, I want you to think about Earth is your playground, and there is nothing you have to do. Everything is here for you to choose, and you get to do if that is an experience you want to have. What if you are truly here to have every experience you want to have? You don't have to go down the slide at the playground. You get to if that's fun. You don't have to swing on the swings and you don't have to swing really high, but you get to if that's the experience you want to have. You don't have to create abundance. You don't have to do these things. You get to if that's the experience you want to have. You don't have to write a book, but you get to if that's the experience you want to have. In fact, I absolutely love with the technology and the innovation and the tools and all the things that we have now. You think about what it would have been like to publish a book 20 years ago, right? You would go on a book tour. You would have to travel from city to city and go on all these book tours, right? Look at it now, right? People are self-publishing multiple books a year and having the experience of being a published author with all the tools and information that's here. Plus, we have audiobooks, plus we have ebooks. It's pretty amazing. So there's so many experiences that are here. You get to have them. You get to choose. There is no obligation in mastery, true mastery. Everything is an invitation. Everything is an opportunity. And here's the thing, right? Uh, it's the holiday time here, well, in the time that we're recording this live, and there's lots of different things that I have in the last couple of weeks received invitations to, right? To celebrate the holidays or different things. And when you really see it as, wow, I have all these invitations. What is the experience I want to have? One of the invitations was for a really intimate dinner party. One of them was for an actual party with dancing and music, right? And you can go, which invitation, right? It's not an obligation. Everything's an invitation. You get to choose the experience you want to have. Start to see your life not as an obligation, and especially if you're on the spiritual path, awakening, enlightenment, realization, mastery, it's not an obligation, it's an invitation. And in my experience, it's an invitation to the best thing going on anywhere, to truly step into your mastery, to live as an awakened person and being on earth at this time. Awakened to what, you might say, right? For me, awakening is you are not the lack you have experienced. You are not the limitations you've experienced. You're not your circumstances. You're not your conditions. You are a divine, eternal being having a human experience. You are everything you wish to be. You already are. Yet you are on this incredible journey of witnessing your own becoming. You're awakening to the joy that has always been here for you. You're awakening to the love that has always been here for you and within you. You're awakening to the peace that has always been within you. You're awakening to the abundance and the well-being, and maybe most importantly, the freedom that has always been here for you. And so if you think about Earth as your playground of expression, you're exploring consciousness. You are expressing through your energy. You are experiencing creation. In fact, you are your own greatest creation. You are your own greatest creation. You are experiencing and embodying your own divine potential. Anything and everything truly is possible for you. Earth is your playground. And you're playing with the potentials and possibilities that are all here for you. When you make this shift from not needing to judge things as right or wrong, that everything is potential and possibility. Nothing needs to be wrong. And no one needs to be right at the expense of someone else being wrong. Everything is potential and possibility. If you, again, think about what it is that you would love to have for your next meal, right? If you could have anything, right? The earth is your playground. And you could have anything you wanted as your next meal. We're not all going to say the same thing. We're not all going to say the same thing. We have explored all sorts of different foods, and you know what you like. You know what you prefer. All the foods you've eaten in your life are potentials and possibilities. that now you get to choose because you've tasted them and you know. And there may be new things. I love when I travel to places that have unique and different cultures that I've not experienced before. And I try new foods, and some of it I really like, and some of it I really don't. But I don't have to make it wrong, and I don't have to make what I want right. You get to choose. Everything in life aligns to that perspective if you're willing to see it that way. Um, I used this analogy recently, but there's some people that would really, really love and prefer to go to a live sporting event with tens of thousands of people to watch their favorite team, right? I would rather watch it on TV in the comfort of my home. You get to choose, right? Everything is potential and possibility. You get to choose the experiences you want to have, right? Uh, there's certain foods that other people in my life really like that I don't prefer. And I call it my chick food. There's lots of things that I choose that I enjoy, right? That maybe my husband doesn't like, or other people in my life, but you get to choose. And that might be one of the simplest places that you start, is really being aware of all of the potentials and possibilities, and that you do get to choose. And if you feel like you're not quite there in seeing the whole earth and human experience as your playground, start to play in a way that does feel good to you. Start to see earth as your playground in any way that does feel good to you. If you live in a place where there's snow, go out and play in the snow. Go snowshoe, and as you're doing it, the whole earth is your playground to snowshoe and do something you love, or make a snow angel. I remember when I was a kid, that was like one of my favorite things about snow, right? If you live in a place that's sunny like I do, right? Maybe you go out and pick beautiful things from nature, and maybe you create a little art project, or maybe you do something as simple as taking a rock. And if I were going to do it, I would maybe choose the word love, right? And I would paint the word love on the rock, and I would paint the rock in whatever way I wanted, or maybe put jewels on it. Just start to play. Start to see everything as your playground and play in the possibilities. You came not to figure it all out and fix it all, right? You came to create the life you want to live. You are truly here to live a magnificent life. In fact, shifting yourself into the awareness of, I chose this magnificent life. I chose to be on earth at this time. I chose this experience. And I'm here to have all of the experiences I want to have. Right. And and feeling into a little more joy and a little more fun. A little more fun. Life, from my perspective, is always responding to you and always reorganizing itself based on what you believe is possible. So sometimes you come across a new level of awareness, and this conversation might be one of those things for you. The awareness always comes first. When you start to become aware of something, and for me, I have often had this experience of, oh, yeah, that feels like truth. A new awareness comes in, and it's like, oh, that feels like truth. But maybe you've never experienced it before. That is the proof of how all of this works, by the way, right? You wouldn't be able to have an experience of it if it wasn't in your awareness, right? So once you start to become aware of new potentials and possibilities that are available to you, right? Then you start to perceive things different. As you perceive things different, that shift in consciousness is what creates the shift. And you start to have different experiences. Once you have experienced something as truth, then and only then does it really become your truth, something that you can be in a state of absolute knowing, not just faith or belief or hope. And there's nothing wrong with any of those, right? There's certainly a higher vibrational frequency in being hopeful and having faith than there is in doubt or fear or believing that things aren't possible for you. Sometimes the most difficult part is actually believing that something that you want to experience is possible for you. Sometimes the most difficult part is believing that something is possible for you when you've never had that experience before. So we are really being invited in this time, and I'm experiencing it in ways I never have before, to really step into the next level. The next level is here, and it's actually stepping into you if you will allow it. The next level of joy, the next level of freedom, the next level of creativity and creation, the next level of love and abundance and well-being. And as you step into that next level, all of a sudden, whole new experiences and whole new worlds begin to open up to you. And here's the thing, all that's asked of you is to show up and see how it feels. I received a invitation back to our earlier conversation about everything's an invitation, right? I received an invitation to visit some place I'd never been before. And I didn't really know how I was going to feel about it. But everything told me to go. And in fact, the more I kind of stepped back and went, I don't know, the more the energy kept showing up and it became absolutely choiceless. In fact, here's the thing. I love living in the space now of not feeling like I have to chase after anything. That I can take a deep breath and be exactly where I am. And if it's meant to be, the energy will guide the way. It will become choiceless at some point. And so it was choiceless and everything worked out. Everything came together. It was easy, effortless, harmonious. And I showed up at this place that I had never been before. And at first I was very aware that it was someplace I'd never been before. And I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. But I decided to show up and see how I felt and see what it felt like. And so I continued through the experience, not trying to make it right or wrong, not trying to figure anything out, but just seeing how I felt. And there was a couple times where I felt a little uncomfortable because it felt really big to me. And I even had a moment of doubt. And, one of my favorite practices, or I would say tools that has really helped me, when I recognize that I have a doubt about something, or I feel like I'm doubting myself, or I'm doubting that that thing is possible for me, or I'm doubting that it's going to work out, whatever that is for you, right? It's kind of catchy and it rhymes, so it helps me remember. But I stop and I take some deep breaths and I really become present in the moment and without judgment, because that's an important part, from a conscious place of curiosity, um, innocence. What is this doubt really about? I ask myself the question, what is this doubt really about? And usually, this very gentle awareness comes of what that doubt is really about. And if you don't judge it and you don't entangle and you let it come to the light, you might start to notice that that doubt begins to pass really easily. And you notice that the doubt isn't there anymore. What is this doubt really about? I I've mentioned it a couple times, but um, in the spiritual world, we have this term called spiritual bypassing. And my response to that is, I'll speak for myself. I couldn't spiritually bypass anything if I tried, because there's usually more than one opportunity every single day, right? To take a deep breath, not go into reaction, not get triggered, take a deep breath, be in the moment, and ask, what is this really about? What is this really about? And letting that come to the light without any judgment and allowing yourself to see it. Here's the thing. The most important shift that you can make in your consciousness that will help you instantly step into the next level of your life and see Earth as your playground is to be in the energy of, I know who I am. I know who I am. You can let the doubt come to the light and still maintain the presence of, I know who I am. And nothing needs to follow that. Nothing needs to follow that. I know who I am. And maybe for you, maybe you don't even need to know. Maybe it's, I am. I know I am. I know I am. I know I am. There's something inside of you that knows that. Whatever that I am references to you. I know I am a soul. I know I am a divine being. I know I am the creator of my reality. I know I am source. I know I'm the divine. I know I'm consciousness and light. The powerful I am presence, right? I know who I am. I know who I am. Or it might feel good to you to be in the I am, the pure I am. Or it might be really powerful to you to feel into the I know I am. I know I am. Your circumstances and your conditions may not be reflecting to you in this moment who you know you are, but the more you are in the energy of, I know who I am, it is the most important shift you can make in your consciousness to instantly start allowing in the next level of your life, which is here now, right? And as you do, things become easier. They become clearer. They become more joyful. You're not here to get it right. From my perspective, you're here to have the experiences you want to have. You're not here to get it right, and you can't get it wrong. You're here to have the experiences you want to have. You are here to create something extraordinary, and you are your own greatest creation. And you're here to create something extraordinary, and you are here to have the experiences you want to have. You are not here to fix yourself. You came as an infinite perfection. You have always been infinite perfection. You will always be. It is about reconnecting and expressing your wholeness, your completeness, your worthiness. I'm here to express the wholeness and the perfection that I already am, right? You are everything you wish to be. You already are. And it is about reconnecting to your wholeness and your completeness, not about constantly fixing yourself. Sometimes we get really stuck in the judgment of what we need to fix. You're here to play with all of the energy that is your energy. You're here to play with all of the consciousness that is your consciousness. You're here to play with all of the potentials and possibilities that are consciousness and energy in form. You are free. That is true mastery. That is living in heaven on earth. So playing, seeing earth as your playground, you get to choose what you want to experience, what you want to create. So how do you design this life in a way that's aligned with that, right? You begin to choose those things that are aligned with what you really love. I've shared this in my community in our membership program um, and a recent program that we did called the Mastermind Program. And um, I received, again, in one of these automatic writing practices that I do often, again, I share the exact process of how to do that in my book, You Are a Channel, which is about opening up to your own connection to source energy and your higher self. And the words came, you are love made manifest. And everything in your life is your love made manifest in physical form. It's all your energy and consciousness in form. You are love made manifest. And everything is what you love made manifest. And so sometimes people will say, I don't really know what I want, right? Or I don't know what the next level means for me. Or they feel like they're waiting. And here's my guidance to you. It's a powerful practice, but I want you to look around your space, your car, the inside of your car. It's a good place to start. Your bedroom, your house, right? Your office, your work environment. Be aware if there's anything in your experience, in your environment that you don't love. And ask yourself, why is this here? Why is this here? If you are love made manifest and earth is your playground, you get to choose, right? If there's something in your environment that you don't love, is it time to let it go? Is it time to let it go? Maybe you give it away. Maybe you donate it, right? It's a very powerful practice. You can do this with your clothes, right? If there's something in your closet that you don't love, then why do you have that thing that you don't love? If there's, things in your environment or your space, just be aware that you can really get ready for that next level by being intentional with the space that you're in. And then if you want a little bit of advanced work, right? Then take that physical experience to your thoughts, to your stories. Are you telling a story that you don't love? Are you thinking thoughts that are not of love? Are you telling yourself things that are not loving to yourself? You are love made manifest. You are here to have every experience you want to have. Earth is your playground of infinite potential. So when you start to be really aware that the thoughts you're thinking are loving, that you're telling yourself things that are loving, that the stories that you're telling are loving, right? You start to really embody that and you start to see it reflecting back to you in every area of your life. You start to notice that things are more joyful, things are more fun, things get easier. And it can be a really powerful practice for truly stepping in to the next level that is here for all of us. So If this conversation was a whole new level of awareness for you, a whole new perspective, right? Playing with the question, is Earth a school where you're here to learn lessons in order to evolve? Or did you come here to play and create the experience you want to have and evolve and expand along the way, right? If the basis of your life experience is expansion, expression, exploring, and having the experiences you want to have, then Earth truly becomes your playground. And I promise you, you will live the most extraordinary life, even if you don't know how. When you shift your perspective, when you feel into that energy of, I know who I am, even if things in my experience don't exactly reflect to me in this moment, I know I get to choose. And I know that powerful, intentional choice begins to reorganize and direct the particles of infinite creation that are always responding to you. So go out and have fun. Play in this perspective of Earth as your playground. As I mentioned earlier, my newest book, The 11 Spiritual Roles for the Soul, the 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul, but they are for the soul, but they're of the soul. The 11 Spiritual Roles of the Soul launches and is released on January 13th, 2026. You can pre-order your copy now, or if it's January 13th, 2026 or after, you can go get your copy now. It is a channeled guide for discovering your life's purpose. So check it out. Thank you for being here. We have some amazing and exciting things that we are announcing in this time of January 2026. So check out our website, sarahlannon.com, and you'll see lots of different opportunities there. We have our new mentorship program kicking off in 2026. It's going to be amazing, and we have an incredible topic that we're going to be focused on in January. So hope to see you in our new membership program. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Go have an amazing day. Earth is your playground. Bye, everybody.